Alright, folks, so it is day 77, about 6 a.m. in the morning right now, and we're going to do today's weigh-in real quick. Let me get the scale.
Hello.
Talking.
Please step on the scale.
Alright. Oh my god, I can't get... about to fall. Can't stand up on this thing today. Can't get my feet positioned right. There we go. Too early.
Your weight is 286.4 pounds.
Alright, so yesterday it was 286.8. We have lost 0.4 pounds literally overnight. So that means we are continuing in the downward process. That is very good. So I lost 0.4 pounds between yesterday's weigh-in and today's. Hopefully tomorrow we'll see that 285 or greater. Greater would be nice. Alright, I'm gonna go get woke up. We'll talk to you in a bit. Alright, folks, so we are continuing on day 77. Just wanted to say I wanted to dedicate this video to Betty J. Gathers. She has become a great friend and a mentor to me. She put out a video today and she done some talking about intermittent fasting, which was very informative, and there was some great takeaways I got from that I need to discuss in today's video. But before I do that, I want to talk a little bit more about Miss Betty J. Gathers. She is not only teaching us through her videos, but also through the comments she leaves. She has given me my fair share of advice in a motherly way, and I appreciate that very, very much. But she doesn't just do that for me alone. She does that for other people as well. I was reading one of her comments that she left to Tiff before I started the Subway Subfast that really hit home with me. Yes, I read your comments on each other's channels too. Because I'm nosy like that. I'm sorry. But, she offered Tiff some advice to look at her audience, and she, I think at the time, Tiff's growing pretty good. I'm proud of her. At the time, I think she had around 20 subscribers or so, and she told her to view her audience as a classroom. So the content that you put out are what you are teaching others. And I have tried my best to live by that the entire week. I know I have been doing this Subway Subfasting, and I have consistently put out throughout this process that is a little extreme, and make sure you're used to intermittent fasting and a little more familiar with it before you try something this drastic. I also show where I'm looking at the calorie content of the subs that I'm taking in, and I try to adjust that accordingly by what I put on the sub as well, like the cheese and the mayonnaise or whatever my condiment selection will be. And so far I've kept my sub fluctuation somewhere. I mean, you really can't track it accurately because the sandwich maker is going to put a different amount on your sandwiches every time. So I try to keep it anywhere from I'd say roughly, now this is just guessing, anywhere from 14 to 1800 calories is what I'm consuming in a day on that sub fast. And I'm a big man. I have a lot of weight to lose, so it's going to affect me in a way that's going to show results very quickly. But at the same time, you also hear me preach about, or like Betty says, view my audience as a classroom, teach about the importance of resetting when you're doing something like this, because your body does adjust. It's just so happens that Subway is a way you can continue to make your body keep guessing what you're doing, because one day you may be taking in 18 to 2,000 calories with a sandwich, and another day you may be taking in, depending on how it was fixed, like yesterday's sub didn't have as many vegetables on it. It was a new sandwich maker. That sandwich could have easily fell around, the 12 to 1,300 calorie range once it was finalized. So the fluctuation in calories does matter. It does matter a lot when you're dieting. You got to keep that in mind. So that is why I have my reset days, and usually my reset days consist of a big old cheeseburger and a large order of French fries or something, and then I'll step it down. I'll start that on Monday, and I'll step it down Tuesday and Wednesday and eat either the same type of thing or something similar. But yeah, I mean, she's just a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of inspiration. I just can't say enough good things about her. And I will definitely be linking her channel down in my description box again today. I told y'all it's never one and done with me. As I get inspired by others, I will definitely be sure to let everyone know where that inspiration comes from. But through her teachings to others, I learn as well. So if you're going to invest your time in your subscribers, look at what they have to say, not only to you, but what they have to say to other people. It means a lot more than just leaving a simple "way to go" comment or "attaboy." I've talked about that in the past, and I actually got a hater who's done that to me. And speaking of which, I think they follow me around to your comment sections, and they are blocking or flagging my comments to individuals. So make sure you check your comment sections in your Creator Studio function on YouTube to make sure none of my comments have been flagged for your review, because YouTube doesn't make that decision. Ultimately, they put that decision in your hands to whether you want to accept the comment or not. And unfortunately, there's been a few people that don't like what I have to say. And usually when that happens, it conflicts with the way they are thinking. I only tell things from my perspective. And, if you don't like it, just don't watch. I mean, I'm going to keep on keeping on, so you're wasting your time anyway, so. But yeah, everybody check their comment comment sections, your Creator Studio, to make sure I'm not being flagged. But yeah, we'll talk more about what Miss Betty had to say as this video goes along. All I can say is, thanks, Mom. Alright, so I just wanted to add in a few more things. There is a couple of other people that I want to mention, but those are separate videos for an entirely different day, and they will be some in-depth shout outs that they deserve. I have been behind on doing that, but don't feel left out. I'm just gonna come out and say this, Patty, I know you're watching. You're always watching, and you're always helpful as well. You have a very knowledgeable background for your insight and input as well. But that is a separate video that involves a little more in-depth discussion. Sorry, I'm drinking a Diet Dr. Pepper and it got me. But Betty, she likes to tell me that the world is moving on and we should move along with it. But whether you want to admit it or not, Miss Betty, that message that you gave to Tiff about viewing her channel as a classroom, that's old school advice, Mom. That is instilled in you, and that is what us youngins are looking for. So whether you want to admit it or not, you are giving that old school world advice. And there's nothing wrong with that. You keep doing that, okay? Alright, so we ate at Subway. I didn't get my Aunt Mabel's favorite today. I felt like I needed some more calories. So I got that spicy Italian BMT, and I got it on the Italian herb and cheese bread. And I got mayonnaise on there. And I decided to get some chips today. Now I'm regretting it because I don't think I'll be able to eat the other half. But we'll see. Alright, so it is 2:35 p.m. in the afternoon. I'm going to go ahead and finish my other half of the sub for today. Got another new sandwich maker today. He did better on the vegetables than the last person, but they're falling out. Jalapeno had a little bite to it today. I ate a little chips on my meal today. One of them small bags. I feel like I needed a little more to run on today than I did the previous days. And it'll help shake things up to finish up this Subway Sub Fast. I mean, after all, a little bag of chips is part of the Subway experience, right? Spicy Italian. Boy, they load this thing down with the pepperonis and salami now. I'm here to tell you. thought I couldn't eat this other half, but I was wrong. And I'm not going into the night during my fasting window on that big of an empty stomach. Tell you, about to lose everything on it. Big. He sits up on his hiney and does this when I ask him to beg. Figure I'd get a last bite to Oscar. I hope it caught that. It was awful dark down there. Anyway, I got more to talk about. We'll talk about it in a little while. I just wanted to get my eating on camera for the week. I want people to see this is real. Alright folks, so it is the end of the day and it is done turned back off rainy, cold, and windy. Alright, so back to Miss Betty J. Gathers. She talked a little earlier today on her video about the scale, and she put some insight into the scale and what she thought about it, and I read some of the book that I won't run it for you. You just go to her channel and watch it. I will link that channel in the description box, like I said, and you can go to today's video and watch it for yourself. But we all have a way to keep ourselves accountable. Some use the scale, like I do. I do not fear the scale. I've said it many times. I think it's an important tool to keep you accountable and to keep you in check for what you're doing, whether you decide to share that publicly or not. I think it's important to have a way to keep yourself in check. And I know Miss Betty says she prefers to do it with a measuring tape with inches on her waist, and that is perfectly acceptable, perfectly fine. I got two methods actually. I use the scale and I use that belt I showed you the other day. What I did was I just went and got a belt that I could not fit in at all, and now I can fit in that thing 2 holes. I'm 2 holes down in that belt now, as of the other day. That's my 2 methods there. At some point I'm going to have to get a new belt that doesn't fit. I think my next belt that I'm going to get will be a 38 waist size belt, and try to fit in that at some point in the future, because that is going to be the waist and weight ranges that I'm aiming for. So it's important to have some kind of tool, I think, to track your progress that tells you you're doing stuff right. When I was growing up, I was a Gen Xer. I watched people do it multiple different ways. The measuring tape, the scale. We used the scale. We held ourselves accountable to that scale. Now, when you're using a scale, like I've said in the past, to get your true weight results, you've got to weigh first thing in the morning. They say that is the best way to get your true weight. So, if you get on that scale, even with the Subway Subfast or whatever you're doing, you eat and you get on it later, it's going to give you a different result. So, you want to do it after a period of sleep or fasting in order to get your true weights on there. But yeah, I love using the scale. I don't mind showing my weight publicly. I've got no shame. But we all have our own special ways and our own special methods. But you got to have some kind of way to hold yourself accountable for sure. Otherwise, you're liable to be going backwards and not even realize it. So you got to do something to hold yourself accountable for what you're trying to achieve. So I think it's very important to utilize some sort of tool to do that. And those are the basic generic tools that people have used for generations. I think that is the way to go. A lot of misleading information out there about that type of subject. People tell you this because they want you to return to their specific program so they can promote their products or this and that. They'll all tell you, I don't even pay no attention to the scale. I say, you pay attention to something. If it ain't the scale, a measuring tape or something. Scale is the easiest way. Like I say, you don't have to report it. You can do it privately within your own space. It's going to tell you. It's going to tell you your result. It's not going to hold back anything. It's going to tell you honestly what's going on with you. It's what it's going to do. And you need to know. Every day, like I'm doing now, is extreme. I'm doing this experiment. Is why I'm doing it every day. But what I usually do is once a week on Mondays, and then maybe about mid-weekend around Wednesday or Thursday, especially if I'm having those reset days where I'm eating a lot, I'll get on there, and a lot of times I'll have a slight gain, and in order to fix that, I'll tone it down between Thursday and Sunday, preparing for that weigh-in, and usually I have weight loss results because of doing that. So yeah, just keep in mind, have some kind of way to hold yourself accountable. But Betty's very inspiring in more ways than she even realizes, I think, sometimes. Listening to her can make you reflect within your own thoughts. We're lucky to have her because she is a generation above me even. So she probably heard even more than I did. And I heard a lot. My grandfather, he was a World War II vet. And he was part of that greatest generation. My grandfather did not hold back. If you were fat, he was going to let you know. He would hurt your feelings. He would definitely hurt your feelings. My mother resents him to this day because of some of the things that he would used to say to her and my sisters growing up. But that's just the way that generation was. They meant well by it, but they were stone cold, stare you in the face and tell you you're fat. Because I can remember my sister, the one that's the one that died some years ago. She had brain cancer. She died of brain cancer. She didn't make it to her 40s. She died in her mid to late 30s. But I can remember her telling my grandfather, Papa, I lost 10 pounds. He said, you did, Carol? Well, that's good. You need to lose about 20 or 30 more. So yes, we learn to hold ourselves accountable. And honestly though, you know, you might not have wanted to hear the truth, but having those old timers around, they'd let you know. They would let you know. These days people get in trouble for saying things like that, but the old school ways, man, they did not care. People think that I'm unfiltered. I could tell you some stories. But anyway, the boomer generation, you know, learned from those generations not to be so harsh, but they taught us how to do things in a more positive light and still reflect the same message. But as generation goes on, it gets the touch gets lighter, and the touch gets lighter, and the touch gets lighter. And as we start forgetting about the history of what people have taught us, sooner or later, down the road, you're going to come across another generation who's going to tell you like it is, because the cycle will just start over. It'll start over. That's the way history works. But anyway, y'all go check out Miss Betty J. I love her to death. She definitely is a motivator, and she actually, you know, give me some insight on what to talk about today within my own video, and I appreciate that. She's a mentor, an educator, and a teacher, and we're lucky to have her. If you don't know who she is and you've never subscribed to her, I suggest that you do. She will show you the same attention that she shows any of the rest of us. So maybe me a little more, because, you know, I just got it like that. I'm just teasing. Alright, we'll talk to y'all later. Until tomorrow. You folks have a good one.